for you.
Oh, fuck. Listen, get the keys, go, go.
The ghost box. We're just going to ask some questions. It basically works.
Not sure from where.
On April 19th, 2022, the YouTube channel Hannah Barron documented an ordinary job that suddenly shifted off course. Along a country road, Hannah and her father were transporting heavy equipment over a small bridge. Nothing hurried, nothing out of place.
Yeah, Dad went to town, took my truck to rent a trencher, like a ditch witch, and on the way back, the trailer got to acting all funky, so he slows down, thankfully, and it comes up off the ball. It was hooked up correctly, you know, sit down on it, all that good stuff, and broke the safety chains, dented my tailgate, and stopped in the middle of the road. And then before Daddy could get out of the truck, it rolled off the road, off a bridge, and now it's laying in a creek. There's no water or anything hardly on this road, and he found the only creek on the way home for this thing to come off the trailer. The perfect spot, come off the trailer, and the whole thing rolled off in the creek. So now we brought the Lil down here to get this thing out of the creek. You might as well laugh about it. Ooh, I got that. We're just cleaning it for you. Oh gosh. Yeah. And you can see where it skin up the pavement when it come off the trailer. And then it just rolled down and
We'll need a new one of these on here. Yeah, because it come off right there.
Without warning, the trailer broke free. The hitch gave out, the load lurched forward, and moments later the equipment dropped into the creek below. The video captures the result: scraped roadway, twisted metal, and a recovery operation requiring heavy machinery.
Good morning, y'all. Throwing in a little disclaimer here. We figured out that it was a wore out tongue on the whole trailer. So it wasn't really anything we did other than the tongue being wore out. Ended up coming off and broke the safety chains, and then dented my tailgate and busted my tail light. And I think my truck took the worst end of all of it, because the ditch witch, my dad and my cousin and some of the folks that work where we rented the ditch witch, they all got out here in the yard yesterday and drained all the water out of the oil and the gas and made sure it was still running good. And then Dad got up at daylight this morning and cut the trench for the water line that he'd, rented the thing for. They just took the trencher back, they hooked it further up on the trailer so it wouldn't fishtail so bad, hooked up more safety lines just to kind of limp it back up there to their place. Where it was hooked up was a little further back on the trailer, and it was making it fishtail even worse, which probably went into, it coming off.
Later, Hannah explained the incident wasn't caused by reckless driving. The equipment had simply deteriorated with time. The following day brought an update. Some results were fortunate, while others were not. Viewers pointed out something disturbing. Even experience couldn't prevent this. If it happened during a routine task, how many close calls remain unseen? On October 30th, 2025, the YouTube channel The Outdoor Gear Review, recognized for quiet solo journeys and practical outdoor evaluations, travels far into Pisgah National Forest. Luke Madison, alone along the road toward Brown Mountain, stops at Wiseman's View, an overlook linked to unexplained lights documented for over centuries. As night settles across the gorge, the silence feels dense, as though the landscape itself is waiting to be observed.
And we are off, everyone, heading towards the Wiseman's View. And here we are, everyone. We have this city far off in the distance. This certainly complicates things. So the question is, are the Brown Mountain lights, lights from the city, lights from vehicles and whatnot. It has been studied by scientists from all around the world, and everybody seems to believe something different. I'm not sure if the camera picked that up, but I did spot a light up in the sky over those mountains over there. It was really just for a second, and then it dissipated. One thing that I find really interesting about the Brown Mountain lights and all that stuff, the Cherokee Indians, they were gone before white people came into the area. But yet, the people who lived here, they saw something. They experienced something too. And to this day, there's not a good consensus of what the lights are. As you can imagine, there's all sorts of theories, including gases coming up from the forest and somehow igniting. Some say it's car lights. It's peaceful up here, peaceful and quiet. And I'll be honest, almost a little bit eerie. Go out into the middle of nowhere, hang out on the side of a mountain all by yourself for a few hours in the darkness, and then tell me how you feel.
Wind drifts through the trees, and hours pass without disturbance. Standing alone at the overlook, Luke admits the silence isn't calming. It presses inward, forcing awareness of how vulnerable he truly feels.
Down below us is a massive gorge. We are right on the edge of it, on a cliff. It is massive. Certainly dangerous for those who are not prepared to go in there. There are hiking trails that go all over the place. Most of them are in pretty rough shape. It is very common for people to go missing out here. The last person that went missing that I'm aware of was a woman. That was last year or the year before. They found her vehicle at a trailhead, but she has vanished.
While looking down into the valley, he recalls something that occurred not long ago. A woman entered into this area and was never seen again. In a place this deep and dark, vanishing can happen silently, without anyone realizing until it's far too late.
Originally, I was going to camp out in this parking lot, but it is so windy. Why don't we drive down the road here and let's see if we could just find a simple campsite to pull off in. Something that's more sheltered than this. I'm in for a warm night, even though it's quite cool out. The heater ran out of fuel at the same time that the alarm went off. That's perfect.
Later, he remains inside the vehicle to stay warm as the night turns colder. By morning, the heater cuts off, right when the alarm sounds. Out here, warmth means remaining alive. If it had failed earlier, the cold could have turned dangerous before he even woke up.
I mentioned last night the friend of my father's in that story. I will go ahead and tell you all that now. So when I was young, my dad, he worked at this factory with this other guy, and they became good friends. And they moved out to this area. Him and his wife, they had a daughter, and my brother and I, we would come over, hang out with them, and on occasion we would come out here to this area to do some camping and also to see if we could see the Brown Mountain lights. Now, this couple, after their kid was grown, they separated, got divorced. He became like an official in the town that he lived in. He had a high-ranking position within the administration and all that stuff. He started dating a woman in the office. She had been divorced for 2 years. Her ex-husband, who lived in Europe, found out that she was dating some guy. He flew to the United States. He went to my dad's friend's office and shot him to death. How crazy is that? The ex-husband, the ex-wife, they hadn't spoken in 2 years. They had no connection, no relationship.
On the drive back, Luke explains why this place lingers with him. Someone who once guided him here later lost their life in a sudden manner. Even now, that memory feels bound to this mountain. Some places quietly carry heavy stories. Some viewers point to aircraft, satellites, or military activity. Others, longtime locals, insist the lights travel where none should. If the explanations are ordinary, why do so many witnesses describe the same unease, long before anyone knew what to watch for? On October 24th, 2025, the YouTube channel Campion, known for quiet solo camping and backcountry survival, recorded a night spent deep in a remote forest during relentless rainfall. Alone among waterlogged ground and towering trees, Campion focused on building comfort, dragging equipment through thick mud, and raising a large canvas tent to ride out the storm. Outside, the rain never let up. Inside, everything felt under control. The setup unfolded slowly and with care. The white canvas shelter went up section by section, transforming an exposed clearing into a temporary refuge. Inside, the mood shifted. Rugs were placed, furniture positioned, and a wood-burning stove provided warmth. The pounding rain faded into background noise. The space felt stable and protected. Then the stillness shattered. Without warning, a violent burst erupted near the stove. The tent gave way almost instantly as flames shot upward, ripping through fabric and equipment despite the heavy rain falling outside. When it was over, only smoke and quiet remained. The tent was destroyed. Gear lay scorched across the forest floor. What lingered most wasn't the storm, but how quickly a single moment wiped out everything that had felt secure. Viewers pointed to how one overlooked decision, not the weather, nearly turned a controlled situation into something deadly. If survival can depend on timing alone, how often does danger remain unseen until it's already too late? This Australia-based YouTube channel focuses on investigating and documenting Yahi-related phenomena. On this outing, the creator travels alone to revisit a familiar location tied to earlier unusual discoveries. The plan is simple. Return to a known area, cook noodles, eat an apple, a personal ritual, and spend time listening for unfamiliar sounds while searching for tracks. Historically, the most significant encounters have occurred in the afternoon.
So I'm coming out now, check the usual spot for prints. I've probably only got like a good 2 hours out here. So I got to head home, but I'm going to do what we always do, and it's good because we haven't been out in a while in the afternoons with this time. It's usually always morning, early morning now, but every time I've had my encounters, experiences, whatever you want to call them, have been, well, the main two, it's sticky, I forgot I should have left my sunnies in the car. The main two have been at this time in the afternoon, a little bit later, but I'll be sitting out there and listening. So it's good that we're out here today at this time, and like I said, same thing again. Head up to the rock pools. I'm going to cook some noodles because I'm bloody starving. And then, listen, go up to the X marker, maybe sit up near there, see if that other weird animal, that mammal that we saw last time, which it looked like a quoll, like an orange quoll. It was bigger than a possum. But since then I was told that possums can have this genetic thing where they go all orange or red, like a red possum or something they call it. I don't know, I gotta look it up, but that's what I've been told. And I was like, oh, that could have been what it was, because we're not standing up on its back legs, scratching or sniffing at the tree at the base of.
With that in mind, the creator chooses this time of day, noting that recent visits were mostly done in the early morning. Previous experiences, especially the two most notable ones, also happened later in the day, reinforcing the decision to return under similar conditions. After a short hike, the creator reaches the usual spot and begins the routine.
So this here's the crossing where we found that possible juvenile print. No way. Is this the same one? Look at this. This is old, but the big toe goes right up around the outside again. So that's a right foot then. And that's the exact same. Where'd it go from there? You can see that one there, really wide. This one again, really wide. It's like the exact same dimensions that we've been finding. Where's it go from there? In the water? I don't know. Like, unless this is just a kid with an extremely wide foot and a huge big toe. That's bigger than an average adult's toe. But look, that's pretty much what we've been finding. And this has been found, as you've seen from the other videos, way up the creek that we go. And no one in their right mind would let their fucking kid go that far up barefoot. But being that they've been that far up barefoot, we didn't find any others.
As the walk continues, attention shifts to a familiar creek crossing, where a footprint impression is discovered. The print appears unusually wide, with a large pronounced toe, similar to impressions previously found upstream. While acknowledging it could be a distorted human print or a prank, the absence of nearby human tracks and the print's consistent width, depth, and toe placement raise questions. To provide comparison, the creator places a nearby boot print beside it, pointing out the differences. Typical boot prints show curvature or an arch near the heel, features not present in this broad, flat impression. These contrasts fuel speculation about a possible Yahi origin, though no firm conclusion is drawn.
High activity here from kangaroos. That's way more than usual. So more game in the area. We go up there, which that leads up over to the top of the dam. More game in the area is a good thing. For predators, it's hard to be quiet. It's either mine or someone else's. Last time I came, so there's someone else's that's been up here. It could still be up here. Might come across them. Maybe they've got a kid with extremely large feet.
Farther along the trail, there is a noticeable increase in kangaroo and wallaby activity. This could indicate a richer prey environment and, by extension, increased predator movement if creatures like Yahi were to exist.
It's just an odd spot for a rock to be by itself. It's been pulled out of the bank somewhere. It's just sitting there. You can see all the dirt around it from where it landed. Maybe it was thrown, but you can see it's been pulled out. Not sure from where. I dare say this was someone. Two different sticks. I just don't think there'd be a reason for them to do it like that. Like Yahis, if that's the case. I reckon someone's done that. It's come up here, maybe watching my videos, who knows. But I don't think that was, we done. Of course, no one's an expert. I'm not an expert, I don't know. But that just looks like something that a human would do. Specifically with this subject being what it is in this area. I'm pretty open about where I go. That's the person. I'll check the footage from before and see if that was there on the way up just then. Because if it wasn't, then that's going to be very interesting.
Still, the creator remains cautious, aware of how easily assumptions can form. Near the rock pools, an apple and some gear are left behind intentionally, hoping to observe any interaction while away. Along the route, an oddly positioned rock is discovered, apparently pulled from the bank and placed unnaturally. Two sticks are also found arranged in a deliberate manner, resembling possible markers. While intriguing, the creator avoids drawing conclusions, suggesting the arrangement could be human-made. When returning to the site, the apple and items remain untouched. However, it's noticed that the phone mysteriously stopped recording part of the outing, a possible technical issue that adds to a growing pattern of strange coincidences from previous trips. The visit ends with a quiet meal of noodles beneath a calm afternoon sky. Despite the creator's skeptical approach, the repeated appearance of nearly identical prints across isolated locations and their consistency in size and shape remains difficult to dismiss. The placement of natural objects could be random, yet the context makes them feel more deliberate than coincidental. Could all of this be explained by subtle human activity and misinterpretation? Or is something elusive making its presence known in this remote part of Australia? On June 28, 2025, the YouTube creator ManDog Wild released a solo overnight camping video documenting a trek deep into the mountains. The purpose of the trip was twofold: to push physical limits through off-trail wilderness travel, and to explore a long-abandoned mountain home surrounded by unsettling local stories. The destination is remote and largely unmapped, known only through vague accounts. Sitting high along a ridge, the structure once belonged to a solitary man known locally as the Hermit, a figure believed to have lived alone for years before disappearing under unexplained circumstances. While some locals acknowledge the house exists, few are willing to return, often describing a persistent sense of dread tied to the location.
So what adventure lies ahead today? Well, we're heading somewhere remote, unsettling, and largely undocumented. I'm on a quest to discover and explore an abandoned house in these mountains, abandoned by a man simply known as the Hermit. Upon discovery of the house, if we do find it, we'll be having ourselves a little solo overnight inside, depending on conditions, because I don't know obviously what it's like inside. Could be full of shit. To get to this place, there's no roads and no trails. All I know is the estimated location, and that's basically where I have to look. So the legend goes that this man lived here completely alone for decades until one day he just completely vanished. So tonight I'll be camping in here alone to investigate the rumors of strange lights, voices echoing through the mountains, among other paranormal activity.
After a demanding climb with no established trail, the creator locates the house. Despite years of abandonment, the interior remains unexpectedly intact. While surveying the area, he finds a circular man-made feature, possibly a sealed well. Inside the structure, he sets up a minimalist camp using basic gear and begins his investigation as evening approaches. He starts a ghost box session, using a device believed to scan radio frequencies to produce audible responses. At first, the device remains silent, something he finds more unsettling than immediate activity, especially given the site's ominous history.
So starting with the ghost box, we're just going to ask some questions. It basically works through a frequency that allows spirits to pick up on the electrical energies of the software, and the software has words in them allowing basically spirits to use energy to communicate. Are there any spirits in the area, in the mountains, in the home with me tonight? Okay, we're back. The app just crashed randomly. So it's interesting. It's interesting because
eventually, the device begins producing short, fragmented words that appear to reference items he had left outside earlier. He checks the area, but finds nothing out of place. He then scans the surroundings with infrared equipment to look for anomalies such as movement or orbs, though only dust and airborne particles appear. One of the most notable issues of the night is rapid battery loss. Despite charging his equipment earlier, multiple devices drain unexpectedly, a problem he notes has occurred during previous paranormal investigations.
Can you tell me your name?
Keep recording.
Keep recording? Why, are you going to do something? It's very difficult for me to keep recording because I am such low battery on both. Right now, this is actually a real big struggle, but I'm going to keep recording. Is there anything you want to tell me? And it's crazy because I've had these devices on power banks all afternoon.
I want one.
I don't show it on camera, but I just lit up a cigarette. You want a cigarette? I know everyone seems to smoke here. I don't suppose you're any different. Okay.
As the hours pass, the power failures make continued recording increasingly difficult. Later, the ghost box produces more unsettling phrases suggesting pursuit or exclusion, though no physical events follow. The remainder of the night passes quietly, aside from distant sounds echoing through the mountains, which he attributes to natural acoustics. By morning, physically exhausted and mentally unsettled, he packs up and reflects on the experience. Although no clear supernatural activity occurred, the combination of equipment malfunctions, oppressive silence, and the weight of the Hermit's story leaves the site with an unexplained presence. The lack of expected signs, such as footsteps, voices, or visual disturbances, only deepens the mystery, as if something was there but chose not to reveal itself. Could the Hermit's disappearance be explained by ordinary events lost to time? Or is there something about this place that refuses to be uncovered? Share your thoughts in the comments. This YouTube channel focuses on adventure vlogging, combining exploration with elements of mystery and risk. The host, Tom, is known for traveling to restricted or heavily rumored locations, including some of the most secretive sites in the United States, such as Area 51. His videos blend tension, understated humor, and candid, unscripted reactions. On March 28, 2017, Tom and his team traveled into the remote desert borderlands near the perimeter of Area 51. Early on, they began noticing signs of possible military activity, worn dirt roads, vehicle tracks, and reports of concealed patrol units operating nearby. They also observed Ford Raptors, vehicles commonly linked to base security, moving through the area, suggesting they were approaching a sensitive zone.
There's the dirt road, 10, 15, 20 miles. I don't know how far to Area 51. Jesus. Friggin' asshole. Does that mean I can't take any video? Alright, so we found a sort of back trail. I don't know exactly what it's used for. Maybe one of the trails of the camel guys, military police security, something, because hill that they sit on, it's up over that, right over there. I swear this is just the most beautiful area, way underrated. Here, let's get higher up here.
Following an unmarked dirt road, the group attempted to gain higher ground in hopes of seeing the restricted facility from a distance. As they surveyed the landscape, they pointed out surrounding hills believed to serve as observation points, potentially used by security personnel monitoring the area from above.
So the security guys have that Ford Raptor. I don't know, I don't see any road or tire tracks right over in this spot, although there is a walking path, or a path for something. So up over that hillside is where they are. It's like a mile, half mile, something like that though. So we're thinking if we get up over to this ridge, we might get a look at something. It's never ending, I swear to God. Oh fuck. Alyssa, Get the keys, go! Go! Fuck, go, go, go!
While crossing a ridge, the situation suddenly shifted. A light-colored figure, pale or beige, briefly appeared in the distance. Its coloring allowed it to blend almost perfectly with the terrain, making the sighting feel unnatural and out of place. The team reacted immediately, abandoning the area and rushing back toward their vehicle. The response did not seem exaggerated or staged. It appeared to be a genuine reaction to an unexpected presence. One possible explanation is that the figure was a person wearing specialized camouflage or tactical gear, positioned to discourage trespassers. If the goal was to warn them away, it was effective. The team retreated without hesitation. Although there is no clear confirmation of what was seen, the encounter raises questions about the level of active surveillance in restricted regions like this. Was it a security operative enforcing boundaries, or something else entirely? The way the figure blended into the surroundings so precisely suggests planning and intent. Was this simply government security doing its job? Or did Tom and his team come across something far stranger than expected? What do you think was waiting just beyond that ridge? That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.